Good morning. Happy Monday. It is week 9. Oh my goodness, we are halfway through the semester. It is week 9 of an 18-week semester. I'm an ESL teacher in southern China. I teach at a university, and it is also week 2 of my 8-week PhD course that I'm taking right now. I'm getting my PhD in education, and we've got a lot going on. Join me for a week in my life as a teacher and also as a PhD student. This morning, I'm not working on my dissertation. I am going to meet a friend for coffee before my afternoon classes. So Mondays, I just have class in the afternoon, but as an adult, it's just really hard to fit in social time, and I'm trying to make that work by meeting every Monday morning for breakfast. So it is about time to go. So let's head out to meet my friend, get coffee, and then we'll have a day of classes as well. Why, hello, happy Wednesday. We skipped a day. I did not film on Tuesday. Yesterday was just a rough day. Actually, on Monday night, I really wasn't feeling well. I don't know exactly what it was. I think it was just my autoimmune disease acting up. I just woke up not feeling the best. And then I walked out into the living room area and saw that one of the little cats had some diarrhea and kind of gotten it everywhere. They're okay. He's okay. He's good. He just has a weak stomach, and that sometimes happens. But it had kind of gotten everywhere, all over the floor, all over the couch, all over everything. And so I was cleaning all that up, but I was just kind of worried about him, and it was just a long day. I didn't feel well. I wasn't in a good mental space. And I had a little bit of a realization. Sorry if you can hear the construction. It's been going for months. It's supposed to be finished by the end of the year, but I was just sitting there in the break between my classes thinking, I don't want to be here. I want to be able to just be home, spending time with him, making sure he's okay. This weekend was jam-packed. We had so many activities, and I realized I hadn't enjoyed them as much as I should have because I was constantly thinking about all the things that I had to do, especially for my PhD this week, because my chapter 2 is due at the end of this week. I have a 3-hour break between my classes on Tuesday, and so sometimes I lesson plan and sometimes I do my PhD work. Yesterday was PhD work, but before I did all of that, I actually sat down and I wrote out a list of things that I wanted to do to take better care of my mental clarity, to take better care of my health, to spend more present time with the people that I love. And I wrote out just like a couple of rules, I guess, for me to follow for the next week or two. I know that for your PhD, your mental state is half the battle, and for teaching, your mental state is half the battle as well. And so I have a lot going on. I'm trying to give my all to my PhD and my all to my teaching and my all to my family and my all to my friends. And I just need to figure out how to navigate this portion of my life, this chapter of my life a little bit better. Like this week, my only assignment was to finish my chapter 2. And they only gave me the assignment of 15 pages, but I wanted to double that and I wanted to make it 30 pages. But I also yesterday wrote down that, that's just my ideal. That's my goal. That's my perfect plan is 30 pages. It might not be realistic for right now. Maybe I could reach 30 pages by the end of this term, but this week, I don't think 30 pages is gonna happen, and I need to be okay with that and be realistic with myself. But before I blabber on for too much longer, because I am definitely a yapper, I am about to head to class. This is not my class, this is another teacher's class, but she is talking about customer service with her senior students. And so she invites me every fall semester to do a little scenario with the students. So she actually sets up a phone in one room and I'm in another room with a phone, and we will actually call each other. The students will call me, I'll call the students, and we act out different customer service scenarios, which I love doing. I did that for years before I became a teacher, and I genuinely enjoyed it. But also I think it's such a good thing for the students to do as well, because they all imagine that it's going to be so easy, and then when they're actually talking to me, they panic and they're not sure what to say and they make some mistakes. So I think it's a really great thing for them to try before they actually enter the workforce. I mean, what I'm about to do today is the entire topic of my dissertation. This is what we should constantly be doing, in my opinion, for my students at my school. But this is the only example that I really see of my dissertation in action. And so I'm excited to actually help students practice something super practical. Then I'm going to go to a coffee shop and get a few hours of hardcore work in on my chapter 2 for my dissertation. So let's go. Let's enjoy this cozy, a little bit overcast, kind of chilly, still hot Wednesday. So I'm here. The lighting is not great because I'm just in this little tiny office area. So I'm first going to be the customer, and so I'm going to call them and ask to make some changes to an order. The students have been told that I ordered red gloves and I want to change it to white gloves. So the first few I'm gonna keep according to the script, and then we're gonna go rogue. And we're gonna make it difficult for them, and I'm gonna change things up for them. I think this is just such a good practice for students because they actually get to practice talking to a foreigner for real. They don't know me, they have never had me as a teacher, and also they can't see my facial expressions. It's just over the phone, and I think this is a really excellent way to simulate what a real life experience might be like in the real world. So we're gonna get started in just a few minutes. I'm excited. I love that teachers choose something really practical like this. So let's go. Beauty Gloves, this is Megan. How can I help you today? Good morning, how are you? I can help you right now change the order from red to heading out. They did so well. It's kind of weird to see like my little fingerprints on students that I've never even taught before, because each year I will give some feedback and some suggestions, and so every year she passes on the feedback and suggestions to the students, and so they really benefited. I ran into the Russian teacher, but basically it's just nice to see that even though I'm not teaching these students, they're actually getting knowledge passed down. That's so cool. They did really well. They did a good job. Let's go to a coffee shop and do some work. Hello, the sun is setting and I am heading to Hong Kong. While I was working, my husband texted me because he's working in Hong Kong today, and he said, why don't you come in for dinner and we can pick up the new iPhone? So I did do a lot of work this afternoon. I basically finished the PBL section, the project or problem-based learning, and I started working on my ESP section, which is English for Specific Purposes classes. Essentially, those are English classes, but they're highly specialized. So if you're in banking, they teach you a lot of banking vocabulary. If you're in business, they'll teach you a lot of business vocabulary. If you're in medicine, they teach you things to know for medicine. So it's just like highly specified, highly focused type of English classes. And I hadn't downloaded any journals for that. So I also downloaded like 30 journals to get a good start, and I started reading some of them, started that section. I'm pretty happy with the progress that we made today. I'm feeling better about the project overall too. Instead of feeling like I need to have it completely finished ASAP, I'm working step by step through the project, which I think is a much healthier way to approach it. But let's go to Hong Kong. Let's kind of forget the PhD for tonight. Let's go go get the new iPhone, maybe have dinner in Hong Kong. Nobody can say anything bad about the Mint Mini iPhone. I have loved this thing so much, but she's old. She's on her very last leg. It's time for a new one. Okay, we've got lipstick, lip gloss, AirPods, my passport, and actually, fun fact, last weekend when I went with my friend, I found out that you don't need these white pieces of paper anymore. It used to be that you needed a blue piece of paper to exit the mainland, and then you needed this white piece of paper to enter Hong Kong. And as of like last week, I don't need them anymore. I have all of my cards in this little compact holder. I have my Shenzhen subway card, my Hong Kong subway card, bank cards. I have tissues, I have hand sanitizer. Yeah, I think that's all I need. Let's go. Hello, happy Thursday. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm using my AirPods. I also hope the quality is a little bit better on this video. I basically spent the whole morning just transferring everything over from my old phone. I had originally planned to do that slowly. However, once I logged out of my WeChat, which is basically the most common Chinese app, social media for communication, for messaging, everything basically stopped working because in China everything's connected to your phone number. So once I had logged out, basically I couldn't use anything. So I needed to spend the whole morning getting everything set up. I did have a relaxing morning. I should have been working on my PhD. But you know, it's fine. This afternoon we have 4 hours of class, and these are my most trying students right now. I'm gonna keep positive mentality. I'm gonna walk in there with calm. I'm going to exude the energy that I want from them because they're bad chaotic energy. Like they're all over the place. They can't focus. They're antsy, and we're gonna bring out some different energy from them. Hopefully, we are still talking about genes. And their homework this week is to ask me an American question, like a question about American culture. And so I'm really excited to see what this class is wondering about American culture. Afterwards, I think I'm just gonna head home. A pretty simple day today. Usually I meet some friends, some coworkers for dinner, but they're all busy doing other things because it's Halloween. So we're gonna have a quiet night at home. We're going to do a little bit of exercise, work on PhD, and hopefully I get some trick-or-treaters. Fingers crossed. Well, we are back home. My goodness, it's dark in here. Class actually went so... Let's get some lights. My goodness. Okay. Class actually went so well. Honestly, how honest are we being right now? Because last Thursday when I had their class, I was frustrated. They were being very disrespectful, out of control. But I went into it with a different mentality. I went in there with my calm energy, and I was a little bit more serious with them, willing to stop, willing to correct, and they did really well on the classes compared to last week, which was great. Although I was also very, very frustrated because one of the questions that we were talking about this week with genes was if you could change something about yourself, if you could change your genes, one, would you want to? And two, what would you change it to? And one of my students said that she would change her voice.
And I thought she meant pronunciation at first, like to improve her English pronunciation. And she said, no, her voice, because one of her teachers told her that because of her voice, she would never be able to speak English well. Please tell me what that even means, because I don't know. What does that even mean? And so she was really discouraged about it. Apparently her teacher had told this to her a couple of weeks ago. And I told her 100% that's not true. People's brains can change, their voices can change. Singers change the way they sing all the time. You can change your voice if necessary. And besides, even if you couldn't, that's not what's necessary to speak English well. Like, this teacher wasn't even talking about pronunciation. She's talking about the voice. Anyway, I was talking with her about it and she started tearing up because she had been so discouraged about this. And I just don't understand why that teacher would have said something so discouraging, and why the teacher would have just I don't know, I will never understand. But it kind of put it into perspective, because I was feeling a little bit hesitant to go to their classes because last week's classes had gone so badly. And it was a good reminder that at the end of the day, the most important thing is the students, interacting with them, encouraging them on their English journey. It doesn't matter if they learned 3 out of the 10 vocabulary that were words that day or 7 out of the 10 words. That's not really what matters at the end of the day. I'm gonna whip up some dinner. I'm definitely gonna do some exercise because I'm feeling a lot of energy in my body and I love exercising to get all of that out. And then I also have the goal of writing an introductory paragraph for my chapter 2 tonight.
Good morning. It is in fact Sunday morning. I say that because I've gotten into the habit the last few weeks of waking up early on Saturday morning, going to a coffee shop and getting a few couple hours of like hardcore work in, and then just relaxing for the rest of the day or until the night. But wow, yesterday I woke up and I was so tired and I decided to listen to my body. So we are doing that on Sunday. I need to finish my chapter 2 rough draft to send it into my teacher today. And then I will come back for lunch because I'm going to go see a showing of Jane Eyre this afternoon. So work in the morning, enjoy the afternoon, and then we'll see where the night takes us as well. I do need to also prep my lesson a little bit for tomorrow as well. Let's go to a coffee shop. Let's get some work done. Hopefully we can finish a really good draft of chapter 2. We did it, Joe! We finished chapter 2. Now, this is just a rough draft, but I'm really happy with how much I did end up getting written. The minimum page requirement was 15 pages just for this preliminary rough draft. My goal was 30 pages. I wanted to just double that, and I knew that was very ambitious. Eventually, I do want to hit 30, but I got up to 24 pages of actual content. I think in the next few weeks, I'm just going to be taking different areas of chapter 2 and just expounding upon it, keep reading, keep adding to the research. But I think we got pretty close to my original goal of 30 pages. And I do still want to hit 30 pages before the end of this term. I'll just keep working on it a little bit more. So we're done with the first draft of chapter 2, and now I'm going to go to see Jane Eyre, and we'll see how that goes.
we are back home, and to be honest, Jane Eyre felt like a little bit of a letdown. I think it just wasn't as good as the last shows that I saw. I just saw Chicago, amazing. Macbeth, incredible, and it just wasn't at the same level as the other ones. It is the end of the week. Tomorrow is Monday. We're going to start a new week and we're going to start off fresh. And you know, I hadn't really thought that this week was going to be anything different or anything special, but I'm really glad that I was vlogging this week because I feel like it was quite a significant week. I don't always walk away from a week with like a lesson that I learned, but I really feel like I learned the importance of needing to properly rest, needing to learn how to properly rest, because I keep feeling overwhelmed by everything I have to do, but also knowing that rest is helpful and rest is productive. But you know, I can't fall asleep because I'm thinking about everything I have to do, and I'm trying to focus on one project, but all I can think about is how there are other things that I need to be working on. And I think this week on Tuesday, it really felt like it hit a wall. It felt like it was a bit of a wake-up call. When Pretzel, my cat, was not feeling well, which sounds so silly, but I really need to get better at learning how to rest and learning to think of rest as being productive. So I have a couple of rules for myself. One, if I'm able to sleep in, then I will. And by sleep in, I don't mean like crazy, but I keep waking up far before my alarm because I think, oh, if I wake up early, I can get so much done, but then I'm not getting enough sleep. So I'm not getting things done. This PhD journey is a marathon, not a sprint, and I really need to have that mindset as I'm moving through it. So I won't say anything more. I've probably been blabbering for a while, but thank you so much for joining me on this week. It was a full week. We had our ups, we had our downs. This week was just so full. One of my best friends came from another city. We had a small little autumn party. Then we went and saw Macbeth in Hong Kong for that day. And then the day after that, I went to see Chicago here in Shenzhen. And so I just didn't have a lot of rest during the weekend, but I wasn't able to fully enjoy those really fun moments and really be in the present because I kept thinking about how much I had to do. And then we started Monday and everything was crazy and everything was busy, and I just felt like I am not balancing my work and my PhD and my personal life and relationships and my rest as well as I should be. So that is my goal moving forward. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to watch more videos, you can always like and subscribe. Come back for weekly videos. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day.